My name is Cedric Concon. I know Rene Latosa. He's my instructor, my only instructor. I've been studying with him since 1979. When I first started with him, he would tell me these stories about learning Escrima and how he wanted to learn it in the beginning. So Rene, was one of the first students in the Escrima Academy, Stockton Escrima Academy, back in I think 67 or 68. I'm not too sure exactly the year. But so when Rene wanted to learn a self defense, or they didn't call it Eskrima back then. He didn't. They didn't. It was just self defense. Rene wanted to learn some kung fu self defense, right? From because it was the days of Bruce Lee, and he wanted to be some badass guy, right? So he asked his dad and his mom, "Hey, can I get some money to take some lessons from this school? I think it was a kung fu school in Stockton." And his mom and dad look at him, why you don't need to learn that stuff. You can learn some self-defense from I have a friend, Uncle Angel. Angel Cabales, right? He said he just opened up a school for the Filipino Martial Arts that do self defense. And Rene was kind of reluctant. He's like, I don't know, maybe okay. But anyway, since Rene knew Angel since Rene was a small kid, because Angel's dad and Rene's dad Johnny were close friends, and because Rene's dad ran the Filipino Community Center in Stockton, and so everyone in the community usually hung out in this community center where all the older, Filipinos hung out and just chit chatted. So Rene said, "Okay, all right, I'll go check it out and see." So like when he first walked in, went into the place where they were teaching. He saw a bunch. He wasn't like a regular school. It was just like a room in the community center or something. That there was these older gentlemen that were there just hanging around talking. Rene was telling me these guys were smoking, cigarette in mouth, and just chalk, just like a regular afternoon, just talking. And then so Rene went there and he said, "Okay, I'm here to learn." Oh, then of course he went up to Angel because he's supposed to go to Angel, and so Angel started teaching him, and it was good, right? So Angel started teaching him, and other instructors there were Leo Giron, Max Charmento, Dentoy Revilar. So they were all there. They were all giving Rene, instruction. And of course, Rene had, it wasn't like there was like 20 people in class. There was only like one or two or three people, right, for like four instructors. So Rene had a lot of one-on-one with each one of them, right? So it was like Angel would get Rene, and Rene would do something with Angel, and then Leo would get Rene, and then he would do something with Angel. And then and Max would say to Rene, "Hey, okay, let me show you this." And then Toy, "Okay, let me show you this." So Rene was learning from all these different people, and one of the funny things also is that there were also other men in that room that weren't part of the instructors, right? They were just there hanging out. So Rene would tell me that these guys would go up to Rene after like after a session with one of these guys. He would say, quietly in a quiet voice, "Hey, what did he teach you? Okay, this is how you beat it." so so that made me laugh, right? Because that's totally what the Filipino mindset was before, right? Don't show what you know because people will know how to defend it, right? So so that really made me laugh, right? So anyway, so Rene, so he learned in that type of environment, very non structured, environment. So anyway, Rene learned. He learned a lot from different people, and then Rene was 2 3 years later, Rene became like the senior student. He was like the senior instructor or senior level guy. So he could also become instruct the younger folks. But he started doing demos for Angel. So he was at home, and then he was practicing for his demo what he had to do, or just practicing. And then he said, "Oh shoot, I need to hit, I need to have someone to practice on." And then he saw his dad walking in the yard. He said, "Dad, come here. Can I need someone to hit or practice with me, for my demo." And Rene was feeling really good. He's fast. He was strong, and he was feeling confident. So he went up to his dad and said, "Dad, okay, I'm gonna strike you, okay, but don't worry, I'm gonna go real slow, okay, because I don't want to hurt you. You're old." His dad like, "Okay." And so Rene did some kind of hit. It was a slow hit. And his dad said, "No, don't. If you're only gonna hit me, you better hit me." Okay, so Rene said, "Okay, I'm gonna try to hit. I'm gonna hit you, but harder, but not full intent." So okay, so he did it. He tried, and then Rene, his dad, defended. Bam, 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 and took Rene down. Boom, with a sweep or something. Brought him down with multiple strikes. It's like, oh damn, this is weird. I've never. This is a new experience, right? No one's have done this to me. Then it's like, okay, so I'm now. So Rene gets up. He says, and okay, I'm gonna hit him. Dad, I'm gonna hit you harder. Then his dad said, "Come on, hit me harder." He really hit me, and so Rene did. So he did. His intention was to hit him harder, but of course, control. So he did, and he tried to hit him, and his dad did the same type of move. Bam, 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 knocked him down, push him down, hit him multiple times. Bam, and then Rene said, "Damn, man, this is crazy. All this stuff I'm learning, but there's other things I need to learn, right?" So that kind of opened his mind, saying that there's other things I need to learn, that I need to add to my tool set, and that's why he developed his system the way it is now, right? I mean, so he learned back in 67, 68. Then he went out to Europe in about 73, 74, and then started teaching out there and grew it very big. He became very big actually in Europe. And then he came back, he finished his tour in the military, and then came back in the States and started teaching. And then so we were the first groups. I was part of the first group of Rene. There's a core of us, like maybe 7 or 8 core that stuck around up until now. I mean, I have pictures of us now and before. I saw, and so the progression from 79 and how his system grew and changed from the 80s to the 90s and the 2000s, and I see it, right? When I start teaching, and when I see GM Rene's old students, when I start teaching them, and I can tell kind of like what era of Rene's system they're from, based on what they're doing, right, and how they're doing it, which is kind of interesting because sometimes I mix when I have a group, when I have a big like gathering for a Latosa gathering, and I would mix the older generation with the newer generation. So there's different gaps, right, because not all learn the same kind of things, right?